Hey, what's up, guys? Jo Madden here of BettingPros coming at you. We've got a quick Monday Night Football Q&A. So if you're joining us here in the live chat, make sure you drop your questions. We're going to try to get to each and every single one of them. Going over this Monday Night Football game. So week 16 is going to wrap up tonight after this game. So we got the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Indianapolis Colts. Now, we all know what happened with the Colts. Daniel Jones going out. They were able to get Philip Rivers off of the coaching field. He's been out there coaching high school football to come out here and play. So we did see Rivers out there in that one game versus the Seattle Seahawks. And the Seattle Seahawks clearly were in a look-ahead situation to their game on Thursday Night Football with the LA Rams in that game. But Rivers, he looked pretty solid for a 44-year-old quarterback coming out there off of 4 years of retirement. So definitely going to be interesting to see what we get out of Philip Rivers tonight. So if you're here, if you're joining us, make sure you hit that like button so we can keep this free content coming out here on BettingPros. Also, drop your questions and your comments. Let me know who you're looking at tonight for your best bets for your player props and any questions you have on those bets before this game kicks off. So we got like 15, 18 minutes till the game kicks off. We're going to get into everything I'm liking out here on Monday Night Football. So firstly, it's the Colts for me, you guys. I was kind of shocked when I originally saw this line that we weren't seeing the San Francisco 49ers getting just a little bit, like having to lay a little bit more here, even though on the road. But I do think the Colts with Philip Rivers, they have a quarterback that can, move that ball still. And while he doesn't have the arm strength, can still get those short passes off. We've also got a solid offensive line in front of him. It's able to open up those running lanes. Jonathan Taylor is able to get stuff done out there on the ground. So I'm going to be looking at some props there. Mostly going to look at Tyler Warren. We know Warren has been so solid with his hands. I think Philip Rivers, with another week of practice under his belt, will be comfortable getting that ball to Tyler Warren. I'm a Chargers fan, you guys. I know from back in the day that Philip Rivers really does love to feed that tight end position. So we're going to look at all of that, you guys, but I want to hear your questions, your comments over here. So firstly, it's the Colts plus the 4.5. Now, if you're looking at that money line for the Indianapolis Colts, it's plus 184. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the Colts plus the 4.5, and then I'm going to put a half a unit on the plus 184. I do think the 49ers go into this game. They put up the points first, and then I want to come back in on the Colts with that other half a unit on that money line, because I do think there's the opportunity, but I think there's also the opportunity for us to cash that money line, even if they go down first. And that's what I'm hoping for, to get better value. So I'm going to be rolling with that. I see all of you guys jumping in. The notifications are working over here. So make sure you drop in the live chat here. I want to hear what you're liking. I want to hear your questions in this game. We're going to get to question and answer time and get into everything, what you're thinking for those anytime tutties, where I'm going to go and which ones you have questions on. So it is the Colts plus the 4.5. It's a half a unit on the money line there at plus 184. The other half will be a live betting situation. I love live betting these games. So Bear, it's nice to see you here. I'm Jo Madden. You can catch me all over here on BettingPros with my best bets. So always stay tuned to BettingPros for all of this, and you guys hit that like button. Now, we got to look at the quarterback props, because I do think they are too low on Philip Rivers and too high on Brock Purdy. You look at Brock Purdy, and he has struggled under man coverage, and that's something we're going to see a lot out of the Colts tonight, and I'm expecting them to put that pressure on Purdy. I do think you'll have those short passes out to George Kittle. George Kittle gets those receptions from Brock, and we've seen since Brock's come back, he's really trusted George Kittle out there on the field. So I do have George Kittle for the anytime tutty coming in at plus 125, but I think Brock Purdy's numbers are just too high. He's 148.5, and I just can't go there. You have Kittle anytime touchdown. I absolutely love it. I've got George Kittle for the anytime tutty. Great minds think alike. Yeah, let's make millions tonight. I'm not sure if we can make millions off of this game, but always a possibility. Where there's a will, there's a way. If you got a long shot parlay to make those millions, let me know how you're going to do it. But Philip Rivers, we're looking at Philip Rivers, and he doesn't have that arm strength, but 162.5. I think is too light for his passing prop. You're looking at Phillip Rivers coming out here. He has been on the field coaching high school ball. He's been still whipping that ball around. And while he might not have the arm strength that he once had, I still think he has the ability to go over 162.5. I'm looking between like 180 and 200 passing yards, but this will have to accumulate from short passes to Tyler Warren. We're also going to have to get yards after the catch by his receivers out there. So we're asking a lot for Phillip Rivers, but maybe not too much at 162.5. I also think you got to look at Jonathan Taylor. You got to look at the Colts to establish this run game in this game. The offensive line has every ability to open up those lines for Jonathan Taylor to be able to run through. So I'm going to look for them to open up the holes and Jonathan Taylor to take advantage. His longest rush, you guys, 17.5 only. I like that better than looking at his total rushing yards. Those are your props with BettingPros. You got Phillip Rivers. Okay, let's look at this. Phillip Rivers over half a passing touchdown. It's a great way to go. Tyler Warren probably gets that touchdown. Tyler Warren's plus 240. I absolutely took it. You've got projected 1.2 Alec Pierce, 20.5 receiving yards. Yeah, I like Alex Pierce projected. Christian McCaffrey, 29.5. 4.5 receptions. Jonathan Taylor for the 22.5 rush attempts. Yeah, the 22.5 rush attempts, I think, is a great way to go over the total rushing yards because that's high. Like it's close to 100. I think it's 95 and something. And I like that as well as his longest rush. And then you've got George Kittle, 20.5 for his projected over half a passing touchdown. It's a great way to go. Prop picks and analysts. I can't say it. I can't talk today, obviously. I like where you're going with that market. But yeah, it is Phillip Rivers for me for the over his passing yards. I love where you're going with the Tyler Warren props. I looked at Tyler Warren for his anytime tutty coming in at plus 240, but I also took him for his total receptions. Now, this number did fire up from 3.5, where you had to lay some juice at like the minus 135 mark. It fired up to 4.5. Now, I was playing the alt 4.5 before that, and I was getting a little bit more value, but now it's 4.5 at plus 120. It's still a great number. I think he can get 4 receptions out there from Phillip Rivers. So definitely something to look at is Tyler Warren for his receptions over the 5.5. As for those touchdown scores, actually, I want to bring up something funny with you guys. Let me know your thoughts on this. We know Phillip Rivers could never run, right? Phillip Rivers, and now he's gained weight. His rushing prop is half a yard. You're getting plus 220 the over, minus 330 to the under because no one thinks he's going to be able to run anything. It would be shocking to see Rivers be able to come out here and run. I know that. I'm a Chargers loyal fan for back when they were San Diego days, you guys. So I fully know Phillip Rivers can't run. If he runs for more than a half a rushing yard tonight and then doesn't get kneel downs, get those numbers taken away, I'll be kicking myself for not taking it plus 220. Who gets the longest touchdown? This is actually a good one. Looking at that longest touchdown for sure. It's hard to deny CMC, right? Because CMC is getting those receptions out there as well as getting passed off the ball. So he's a running back that is getting all the receiving yards. And I do think he has that ability to get that breakaway play. I think that longest would probably be CMC. I trust him more than Jonathan Taylor just because I think that explosiveness, well, they both have it. CMC is just, it's CMC, like, right? What can we say about him? He's absolutely fantastic out there. So I would look at CMC. If you don't want to look at CMC for that, I would probably look at, let's see who else we can look at here. Now, you could look at George Kittle. You could look at Jennings, but you don't like the price that we're having to pay on Jennings. Pittman, I wouldn't go with Pittman. I really do think Tyler Warren's going to get the majority of the receiving yards for the Indianapolis Colts. Not sure how long of a reception we can get out of Phillip Rivers, like throwing that ball. So I would look at CMC. It's the only way I think I really want to go in that one. CMC for his rushing and receiving, I think, is another solid way to go. It's 106.5. Even though I like the Indianapolis Colts, I still do think we can see CMC feasting in this. Now, George Kittle as well. I really do like the tight end positions. We know that they've been cashing for us all season long. So looking at George Kittle, looking at his anytime tutty, I already told you guys I was going there, but looking at him for his receiving prop, 66.5. My concern with this is Brock Purdy. I don't think Brock Purdy has that solid of a night. I think the Colts defense is really going to bring that pressure on him. But George Kittle over 5.5 receptions. I think those short passes come to George Kittle in this game tonight. So I would be looking more at that than those total receiving props, because I just look at them and they look slightly too high for me. Now, defensively, if you guys don't know me, you don't know the fact that I love defense. These games, I love looking at the defensive props, the sacks, the interceptions, the pick sixes. That's the way I love to go. Now, Philip Rivers, I can't remember his number. I'm going to pull it up for the anytime interception, because you guys, he's played one game in the last whatever years. He retired in 2020. So his longest pass, 27.5. I would be nervous to take that to the over, but there's no way I'm taking it to the under, because I think we didn't see the best out of Philip Rivers last week. His anytime INT, are you ready? It's only minus 120 for Philip Rivers to throw an interception. I think it's because we're going to see more short passes than those longer passes, and he was dead on the money with those short passes last week. As for Brock Purdy, I could see it happening here, and the books could too. So this is interesting. It's minus 140 for Brock Purdy for the anytime interception. Anytime I'm looking at an interception prop that's above that minus 130 mark, the books are laying so much juice for a reason. It's because these quarterbacks throw them. The defenses can get those pick sixes and score. I do think it is worth a look at the Colts defense for that pick six. So when you're looking at the pick six, you guys, this is one of my favorite touchdown props to hit, because you could take it in 4 games. You win one of them, you are still making money. The Indianapolis Colts is plus 1,000 for that anytime pick six, a defensive touchdown, and I can see it come into play. If the Colts are hanging tonight, it is because of this defense. So another way to look is the San Francisco 49ers team total. I don't think they're going over their team total. The Indianapolis Colts have a team total of 20.5. I'm going to stay off that number, but let's look at the 49ers team total in this one, because I'm drawing a blank on exactly what that number was, but I did look at the Colts team total for the 20.5, and we're seeing the 49ers coming in at just 1 second, you guys. You know how many bets there are on these sports books when we start playing around with everything. So there's the Colts, there's the 49ers team total. It's 25.5. So that is a great one to the under. I do think the San Francisco 49ers get limited by the Colts defense. So this is how I really see this game. I think this is like a 24-21 style win for one of these teams, because I think it's within a field goal. I took the Colts plus the points. I also sprinkled on that money line. And then I'm going to be taking the 49ers team total under 25.5. I just think it's too high. I think this game has to be all about defense. Have to be for Rivers receptions. Not sure what you're meaning. Has to be for Rivers interception. Yeah, Rivers for the interception is minus 120, while Brock Purdy's minus 140. So you're actually having to lay more juice on Brock Purdy than Philip Rivers. So that one is kind of interesting, right? Let's see what Philip Rivers has tonight in him. If he can get this done, it's going to be really interesting, this matchup. And then, of course, week 16 will be in the books after tonight. We're not seeing much movement on those lines, you guys. I'm just looking at the live lines right now. A couple 4s did pop, but not much difference between a 4.5 and a 4. Again, of course, if you like the Colts, grab them plus the 4.5. It would suck. It would really suck like it did on the weekend. What game was it? I was able to get the win. It was the overtime game, but not the cover on Seattle versus the LA Rams. That was the game. In overtime, we go there and just still can't get it done. So that was last Thursday night. So that was a major bummer. So make sure you always shop those lines, get the best of the numbers. Even that half a point definitely is worth a shopping for. As for the total, 46.5, you guys, I could see us staying under this total. Like I said, I'm taking the 49ers team total under the 25.5. I'm going to stay off the Colts team total, but I do think this is like a 24-21, 23-20 style of game. So this is a field goal game for me. Live betting situations, I do think will be in play. I think you stay open your book and stay on that number for Philip Rivers. 162.5. If he comes out a little shaky to start this game, you're going to see that number drop, and it's going to drop back to that original number. When I looked Monday and did those early lines, it was 158.5 for his passing prop. I took it immediately to the over there. Earlier in the day, it was 160.5. It has fired up to 162.5. So make sure you always shop those lines and then go into this game knowing exactly where you want to go with that prop. So if Philip Rivers' prop drops because he makes some bad passes to start this game, which we could see, that's what I'm hoping for. I'd love to come back in on it. I'd also like to look at Brock Purdy to the under if we see him fire off some great passes straight out of the gate, catching the Colts defense a little offhand. But something to note, the Colts are 2-0 straight up as a home dog this season, and I love their opportunity to get the win at plus 186. It's worth a sprinkle. If they go down first, I will be live betting them again for another half unit on that money line. I'm hoping to get plus 250 on it at that point, you guys. But I want to hear what else you guys are liking. Also, if you guys can hit that like button, and I'd really appreciate it. It just helps this free content come out here on Betting Pros on the weekly. So make sure you also subscribe. You don't want to miss out on any of the great content coming out. As for anything else I am liking in this one, I don't think there's anything else I really took in this game. I think that's about it. So I do think that just Colts can pull off the upset. So, and I think you look at the receptions for Tyler Warren, I just think it's kind of light. But let me know if there's anything else you guys are liking. We're starting to see those 4s become 4.5s across the books as money starting to come back in on San Francisco. So really interesting to see that. But this game is about to kick off right away here. It's going to be a good one. I think we're in for a really exciting Monday Night Football game. And then, of course, we're going right into Week 17 on Christmas Day with 3 games there. It's going to be great. I'm sure there's going to be a live Q&A here on Betting Pros as well. So make sure you stay tuned to everything going on. But yeah, this game is kicking off, you guys. It is time to go. So all the best in all of your bets. Again, if you can hit that like button, greatly appreciate it. I want to thank all of you who jumped in live here with me on the stream. You guys absolutely freaking rock. Until next time, stay hot. And you know the deal. Let's make some freaking money. Bye, guys.